gotta go. There'll be peace.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
And hello, and happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Hello. How y'all doing?
Oh, it's so nice to see you back, Emily.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna change it to Magnificent Monday.
We should because you know what's so magnificent about today?
What?
Is that we saw Jimmy playing in New Orleans. Was that like off the chain?
In New Orleans.
I'm not kidding.
Yes.
I saw him up there. He was, because he didn't play for my birthday. When I had my birthday party at the house, Jimmy played for me, and it was just so nice. Yeah. You know what? I think that the sound engineer got to come and try to fix up everything. See, I got mine right. You the one, Johnny. You can't have nothing on right because you be trying to run
Let's
things.
stay focused.
Let's stay focused.
So yeah, we went to New Orleans. We were there for several days. My first time ever going to New Orleans, so it was definitely an experience. I did say it was overwhelming. It was way more than what I expected. Tons of people. It's music everywhere. Every single club has a live band playing.
Wow.
And it's the most phenomenal thing you can see. And I'm not exaggerating. I literally mean we stayed in the French Quarter on Bourbon Street.
Okay.
So I would say a total of just within a 2 or 3 block radius, probably about 15 to 18 nightclubs, and every single club had a live band. Do you know how many live bands? I'm sure Macon doesn't have that many live bands, but every single club had a different live band.
That was awesome, though. I would have enjoyed that because I love music. And
yeah,
I like
it's overwhelming because it's like it's sensory overload. You just didn't know which club, you didn't know where to go because all of the music was good. So yeah, and then it was free to get in everywhere too. So you didn't have to pay a cover charge to get in. It was definitely an experience. The food was good. We went to 2 of the top-rated restaurants, and the food at those 2 top-rated restaurants was terrible. So what I did gather from the whole time is go to the hole-in-the-wall places. They have the best food.
But you want to know something? That's my philosophy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we go someplace, I'm like, I always go to the place where the people go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really go, I don't really like those kind of places. They say, oh, you really need to try this, or this is I said, let me go to the hole in the wall.
Yeah, and I really do.
And the ambiance sometimes is not the greatest.
Right.
It's not gonna. You know what I'm saying? It may not be the, the plush and all that, but the food is just so doggone good.
And I will say this: I had literally probably the best shrimp and grits I've ever had in my life. It was at this little cafe called Cafe Fleur de Lis.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little hole in the wall joint. And I had tried shrimp and grits at several different places while I was there. This hands down, and it ended up, which was crazy, being the hole in the wall spot that had it's the best I've ever tasted. And I've tasted a lot of people's shrimp and grits. And I said, okay, But all in all, I had a great experience. I do know this: I will never stay in the French Quarter again. I think I will stay on the outskirts and just Uber in or ride in whenever I want to go to Bourbon Street, because actually staying in the French Quarter was a bit much for me.
I'm trying to get Jonathan's attention because he on his phone.
No, why would I interrupt her while she's speaking?
Yeah, but it's rude looking down at the phone. We have to talk about that when people are speaking. Is it rude to look down at your phone?
you know what? My best friend Beverly Pitts, she's passed away. She taught me that years ago. And her phone, we were out to dinner and her phone was ringing like constantly. And I said, "Are you going to get that?" She said, "Why would I answer my phone?" I said, "Because it keeps ringing." She said, "But I'm here with you." And I said, "But it's okay." She said, "It's not okay." She said, "You have my attention and that's what's important. Whoever it is that's calling me, they'll call back."
I agree.
And ever since then, that was about 15, 16 years, 15 years ago. And ever since then, I've thought of that, differently. So now, like, we have a policy when we're all together, there's no cell phones. Like with our family, my husband and my son, there's no cell phones. You got to put the cell phones down, especially if we're out at a restaurant, out at an event, or if we're eating at home, there's no cell phones allowed.
Henry and I have the same thing, because with the cell phone, because I mean, I think like today's society, they've got these different kind of etiquettes and stuff like that. And we just want to respond like right away. I'm like, you ain't got to respond right away, Johnny. I'm just throwing you on the bus because I did like to pick at you.
I'm sure. I want to veer from what we're talking about now. I meant to do it when we first came on air. That a very beloved guy passed this morning. A good friend of mine, a good friend of many.
That's right.
Chank Middleton. So our prayers go out to his family. I was I was his son Taj's #1 fan. So my prayers certainly go out, and all of our prayers go out to the Middleton family.
Well, Chank, and for those that may not know, that's Terry Tripp's brother. Terry Tripp, that was on the school board, and she used to be I think a lobbyist at Brown and Williamson and stuff like that, or Raquel and all of them. But the thing about him was he used to be with the Allman Brothers, right?
He and Greg were best
Allman
friends.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised in the least that if Cher showed up at Chank's funeral.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised
because
at the least.
they were real close. I mean, because he traveled with them and everything. He was just a really cool dude. I mean,
they were truly brothers.
Well, I didn't get an opportunity to meet him. I don't even know you guys.
You really would have enjoyed him. He liked art. Mm-hmm. He had a lot of art in his house. I've been over there.
And he's a musician?
He said, "I'm not a musician, but I'm always around it."
He sure is. He loved music. And
I wonder if it's somebody I would have known. Would I know him if I saw him? Did he go to Grants a lot?
He was real skinny.
Every now and then.
Real skinny kind of guy. Lockdown brother. Just one of the coolest kind of dudes. One of the coolest dudes you'd ever meet. Don't you think, Johnny?
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. Very humble spirit.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I've known him forever. I just knew him as the black guy with the Allman Brothers. I'm just saying. Because he was on the road with them all the time.
They, on the marquee at the Capitol Theater today, they have Give Thanks to Chank on the marquee of the Capitol Theater.
And people who knew him, basically they have the same sentiment for him.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just a really nice guy.
Very humble guy.
And just really worked within the music industry. People knew him. And I'm glad that you
friend of mine.
I talked to Harold Thomas today, and he just talked about, it seems to be some type of brotherhood with the musicians and the music people here in Macon. It's real close. It's a real close
community. It is.
I didn't realize how close it was.
Well, there's so many commonalities because some of them go unspoken, but there's not a one of us that get up on stage to perform and don't want to fail. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's one thing such as confidence and being prepared, but you also know that
anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
And so that once it goes and it starts going well, it's like, whew,
Yeah,
so everybody has that same commonality.
Yeah.
It might not be at the forefront of your thinking, but somewhere in there, you're wanting everything to go right.
I always say, and he's right about that. I always feel like if you're not nervous when you get on stage, you've gotten too cocky. You've gotten too arrogant. Because as long as I've been singing, every single time I get on stage, I'm always nervous. It's like, is it going to come out right? Am I going to hit the right note? Is the keyboard player going, there has to be some sense of, feeling like, ooh,
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's hope this goes off well. And then when you end and everything goes off, well, you're kind of like, whew.
Yeah.
And so all of us know that feeling, and
Yep.
it's a common feeling. So it kind of makes you the camaraderie of it
Yeah.
all. It just makes you. It's like I get where you're coming
Yeah.
from.
Everybody knows it goes unspoken, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And Macon does have a large, musical community.
Well,
Yeah.
Macon is unique.
Hey, Sheila.
Hey, Sheila.
Macon, and what they say it's hard to be a hero in your own hometown, and
Yeah.
it's also hard to, how do I say, recognize the wealth that we have in certain areas.
I agree with you.
For the people of this place. Like, it's not a common thing that people talk about this fact that I'm about to make. Macon is the only city, not state, city, that has 4 genres of music to begin here. Funk music began in Macon with James Brown over on Mulberry Street singing Please, 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 his first recording.
Mm-hmm.
Soul music started with Otis Redding here with Capricorn Records. That's a whole genre of music, soul. Then you got Southern Rock with the Allman Brothers, started at Grant's Lounge, a genre of music given out with the Billboard Awards and the what is the Grammys,
Grammys.
all of the, and then you got rock and roll with Little Richard. 4 genres of music started in this one city. Now Motown's got, Detroit's got Motown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nashville's got country music, but they
Macon,
just got one.
Yeah, we got all 4.
4 genres of music that started here, and there's a strong influence into the blues
Sure is.
industry that came out of Macon. Yeah, Mississippi probably is the head of it, but you had folks like Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith that were here at Macon at the beginning as well.
And a big shout out and congratulations to Reverend Dewey Smith on the Stella
Yeah,
Award.
Pastor Smith won, and Harold Young.
Harold Young won.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Our Harold Young here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won a Stella Award.
Sure did.
For
I want to say best gospel.
Some for the
station,
radio station.
Something with the radio station.
Okay, yeah, I heard about that. Okay.
And then Pastor Smith got his for best new artist. I think he was best new gospel artist, and he was
he has an album out now.
Oh yeah, he's got this song. I can't even think of the song.
But it was just good to hear those two representing Macon, Georgia. Because we don't want to mention one without the other. But I will say, but Dewey is a homeboy from Macon, Georgia.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he really is. And the name of the song is Your Presence is a Gift.
Okay.
And I believe that's the song he was nominated in 4 different categories. I'm just really proud of of what we have here, and while we're just we're getting our show started and everything, and of course we've got some things we're going to chat about, but this was just something we needed to acknowledge the talent that we have here, and a big shout out to the people in Sandersville, Georgia, Washington County, Milledgeville, Sumter. Come on, Johnny, give the rundown.
Wilkinson County, Sparta, Barnesville. We go down to Eastman, all those places.
We go and
Monroe County.
And Emily, I just want to know.
Crawford County.
By the way, I just want to know one thing. Do you have any new soap?
No, we'll have some new ones in August. We'll have a whole set of new ones actually coming out next week, which is the last week in July. So yeah, we got a whole new set coming out. It'll be our last set of summer stuff, and then come late September, we'll start doing our fall.
Hey, let me just say this. Thank you, Macon, Georgia. I want to give a big shout out to Commissioner Al Tillman for his great support and help on this past weekend's event at the Macon Centralplex by the group that I am a part of, the Power of Life Foundation nonprofit. We gave away over 2,000 book bags and school supplies and hand sanitizers and socks and masks and toothpaste and other items. We just want to make mention that we do thank the Richard Robinson Funeral Home, Darrell Von Yoakley, Mike Hostelo, Souls for Souls, Atrium Health. These people were key in us, and Anderson's Diner and Granny's Country Kitchen. It was just a wonderful event, and so many cars. It was a drive-through, and so many cars came, so many people with smiles on their faces and looks of appreciation. And so listen out for the Power of Life Foundation. We will be back and doing more events. Okay.
Hey, Steve, and you know what? That's really awesome. I'm glad to hear,
Mm-hmm.
that it was attended well and
It was overwhelming.
And a big shout out to my husband, of course, Big Heat.
Listen, the man of the hour.
Big Hen.
Listen, don't let them talk about our Falcons. We're going to be all right.
Oh, Lord. We ain't talking about them. But I just want to, are you giving away any free meals at Granny's Kitchen? Anderson Diner, are we giving away a meal this week, Johnny?
Of course. And so some people called me last week. I couldn't get back in touch with them to set it up. So listen, if you're listening again, please do not call me. Text 228-0621. Leave your name and state that you're wanting to get the dinner to feed 5 this Sunday. Okay? Please.
Now, we've got a topic that's twofold today, but I kind of wanted to touch on.
Oh yeah, sounds like I'm going to be a bystander on this one.
No, you're not going to be a bystander.
Oh,
no. We can start out the first one. Should women go to folk house unannounced?
See, that's saying. What I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Going to people's house unannounced?
Yeah.
But that's not today's topic. Today's actual topic is.
I do have an opinion on that.
Today's actual topic is should I'm sorry, let me correct myself. Should married women attend single ladies outings like vacations, girls trips, so on and so forth? Should a married woman go on a trip with nothing but single women? So that is today's topic. That is the question of the hour, and we will go to Johnny first. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Johnny, do you think that single women,
I don't care.
You don't care what that means?
It means I don't care.
God, Johnny, you're supposed to have an opinion.
I don't care.
We just have to keep talking. He'll have an opinion. He always has.
No, seriously. I think so. The question is really centered around what the husband's feeling is about it, right?
Well, you can voice yours. That's
no. I'm asking.
Well, no, not necessarily.
For this question, should married women go? Why shouldn't they? The only reason why I can think that they shouldn't is because of what their husband's attitude might be about it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm getting at.
The husband's
so it's
attitude.
Really about the husband's attitude about it, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Or is it? That's the question.
That's the question, or is it? Because, I'm both of us being married, and we have like single friends.
But whom else would it concern other than the husband?
Not necessarily. It's a personal thing.
No, I'm just saying. Whom would it affect whether or not she went with single women on a trip?
The single women, the husband, it would affect. It could have possibly
so the single
affect
women, because the single women would say the married woman can't get as wild as they can.
Well, now see that.
Is that what you're saying?
Possibly, possibly not.
Absolutely.
So other than that part, what would be the holdback? From a single woman's vantage,
I'm talking about.
What would be the reason?
I don't think a single woman would care either way, because if she knows that her friend is married and she invites a friend, obviously it doesn't. It wouldn't affect the single person. Primarily, it would be from the husband's standpoint or the married woman's standpoint. Period. So the whole point is that, or the question that's at hand is it a big deal? Should you think twice about going on a girls' trip if you're married and everyone there is single? And in my opinion, it would be strange to me, because there are certain things, and it's just the truth. There are certain things that married women would do that single women would do that a married woman wouldn't or shouldn't do.
But see, I think that's stereotyping.
That's not stereotyping.
There are some single women that are like walk, in the steps of Jesus. and they're not going to do anything out of line.
Oh, okay.
And they're just going to be goody two shoes, single or not.
Lord, Johnny.
No, I'm just
Help
serious.
Help him, Lord.
You're not. There are some
Help
single
him,
women
Lord.
that might go out and they'll be like, "Ooh, let's go to the club
Help him.
of sin." But then the other single woman say, "I'm not going in there. I'm not going to go in the club. Why should I stop by the ATM and get a whole bunch of ones?"
That's rare.
I'm not going to. And I'm saying, but there are some women who are single that's not going to participate in that kind of activity.
You know what though? See,
you're playing semantics. The chances of that are extremely, slim to none. It does happen. I can't say that, no single woman would think that way, but the chances of that happening are extremely slim to none. But it's just certain things that as a married woman, I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do.
All right, and let me just say, as a married,
is it going on the trip with them, or is it what they do on the trip?
It's what they would possibly do on the trip.
Okay, see, that's two different questions.
Well, it's the same question.
No, if you should go on a trip with them, or should you do all the things like you could go on a trip with them, and then you can all go to the museum together in the day, and then the single women say, "Well, look, we can go to the singles bar." But then the married women all stay in the room.
Right. So, in theory, because you're not a woman, that makes perfect sense. But yeah, if I go on a girls' trip with my girls, we're going to do everything together. That's the whole point, especially if we're doing a Cancun or a Bahamas or something. I'm definitely not going to leave my friend alone in a hotel room. Girl, you coming with us.
And
period.
I'm just going
to say, you coming with us. I wouldn't leave my friend in a foreign country in a hotel room by herself because we want to go get married.
So what if it's
we want to go party.
So what if it's like 5 single women and 5 married women, 10 of them go trip together, and then during the day they go on the little rides and the tour and go to the museum and all that, and then when night comes, the 5 single ones say, "We getting ready to go party,"
right?
And then the 5 women that are not
married
can stay in the room.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because you're not left alone. We're talking about, say for instance, I'm married,
right?
And I decide to go out, or 5 of my single friends want to go to
and you're the
Bahamas,
only married woman,
and I'm the only married woman. Chances are, honestly, I probably wouldn't go.
Because
what am I going to do? I don't want to be left alone, and I don't want to hinder you all from having a good time and enjoying yourself, because I know I've been single before. I know what single women do, especially if you're going to the Bahamas or if you're going out of the country.
That's right.
You're going to be free.
So this begs the question, what do single women do?
When they go on trips, they do what single people do.
They do, yeah.
It's not a people conversation. This is women.
Well, it is what single women do.
Yeah, she changed it over to people
Let me just tell you this. When I was single and I went on trips, okay, I partied. I went sightseeing. When I say party, I went to clubs. I went out. I had dinner. I had dinner.
Not necessarily.
But I enjoyed myself being single. But the reason why I brought that out is that everybody, and I'm just putting this out, maybe, I'm going to bless somebody today, because if you are a married woman, you may want to be cautious about your single girlfriends. You can't do what they do. You can't go where they go. You don't let them into your relationship like that. Because to me, you're setting your relationship up for something. So that's why I kind of brought it up. I'm like, you may need to rethink whether or not you want to go out, say, on a girls' weekend with your single girlfriend.
Because it leaves so much open to speculation.
Yeah.
It leaves so much open now. Say for instance, like I've gone on trips with my nieces, my grown adult nieces before, and they're not married. But I was married, and that's a different situation because those are my nieces. Even though they're grown women, they were my nieces and they were single. I still went out with them. But if, I'm still their auntie, so they're going to behave a certain way when they're around me anyway. But if I'm just out with my girlfriends, like I'll go to lunch with my girlfriends all day. I'll take a trip to Atlanta and just, do a little shopping with my single girlfriends. I'll do that. But if it actually entails me staying away from my husband at night with a bunch of single girls that I know want to turn up, Yeah, that's not just, it's just not,
So
because
you couldn't go with them and just be the designated driver?
I
No,
could. Now I have massive self-control. I will pat myself on the back. I have a lot of self-control, and I'm not a drinker either. I'm not a
See?
heavy
So
drinker.
you could go with them and just be the prude that
Yeah,
sits
and
over
I
in the
see. I
corner.
don't want to be, and I've said that multiple times to some of my friends. They be like, "Why don't you come with us?" Because I don't want to babysit, and I know that's what I'll be, a glorified adult babysitter, and I don't want to do that.
And then not only that, you invite things into your house. See, let me ask you this.
So these messages today are trying to get these married women to quit partying with their single friends.
They need to think about it.
So that's what the really undercurrent of this.
The undercurrent.
Well, it's not a judgment. It's just
not a
a
judgment.
process where you have
Suggestion.
to think about how it's going to affect your at-home life. And I'm not saying you can't go out and hang out with your single friends, but we're talking about actually going away, going on a trip where you like a Vegas trip. Everybody knows Vegas is like turn up, a New Orleans trip. It's a turn up, right? It was my first time experiencing New Orleans. I would never go as a married woman. I would not go to New Orleans with a bunch of single women, because when I say sensory overload, I mean sensory overload.
And I say that because, and this is another part of it. Most women, and I know this is a general talk, but most women, Johnny, they wouldn't want their husbands to do it.
Right.
Okay. They're not going to want that. They're not going to want their husbands to go out with their, let me just say, their frat brothers, their single frat brothers on a weekend where they know that they're going to be partying and dancing with other women and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
These same women are not going to appreciate that.
Because I'm going to be honest too with what Brenda's saying. I wouldn't so much be worried about what my husband is going to do. I'd be worried about the females that will be around him, because females are a lot more clever than men.
Right. You better say it again.
And so we know how to seduce, we know how to manipulate, we know how to do all of that a lot better than men. And I've seen it firsthand with my own eyes how married men can easily be seduced, and by the time it happens, you don't even realize. It's like, wait, whoa. No,
I think
ain't
that's
what I
very
meant.
unfair.
I'm sure you do.
I don't care what you say.
I'm sure you do, and that's okay.
Because that same goody two shoes lady, when dude pulls up in the Lamborghini, she says, "Oh, I'm married." He said, "Well, I just want. You ever been in one of these before?" No. You want to just take a ride around the block?
No, I don't. That's weird to me.
So if you can say no, why can't the husband say no?
I didn't say he could.
We didn't say he could.
Yes, you did. You
I
just
said I'm more worried about the women, not my husband.
No, you said these women are smarter, that they can seduce.
I'm
saying, why can't the man take her seductive efforts and say no?
Well, you know what, Johnny, you're trying. You know what? I don't know what kind of
I'm going to defend the brothers.
I don't know what kind of la land you live in.
Because that's
But that's what it is. And I'm
good and darn well if somebody come up and say, "Can you want to take a ride in my Lamborghini?"
I'm single.
Well, my husband,
No.
But my husband lets me borrow it for from time to time. You want to take a ride?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now she just told you she was married, but you gonna go because she's good looking.
That's right. And she gonna buy you dinner too, and it won't be at the Waffle House.
Right.
She gonna take him to Longhorn. He gonna get him some fried wings and some salad.
No, Flo's filet. That's my meal.
Flo, well, whatever it is, okay.
That's it.
But I bring this up because a lot of times, we just don't think as married women. Sometimes we don't think, we don't see it. And I'm like, we just need to be very careful about the way we carry ourselves and things like that. And I'm like, and I've said it before on this show, if you're a married woman, why you listen to the advice of a single woman? That's why her single.
Mm-hmm.
She's single because, it's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think you need to be very careful. And you say, the message is beware. Carry yourself in such a way that you don't open yourself up for suggestions. And I'm really, Emily, you being a married woman, it's just certain things you don't do. Right. You don't dress a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, certain things that I just wouldn't wear when I step out of my house is, I think over time it becomes more of a conscious thing or a subconscious
does.
thing. You just naturally, when you go shopping, it's just certain things you pick up. Like you can go in a store and walk right past something, knowing that, yeah, I would never do that, or yeah, I'm not. Those days are over with. So I think it's a certain way that you carry yourself when you have a husband, or you have made that commitment to someone else, and that's fine. That's normal. That's the way it should be. And if you're single, you are single. You have the right to, do whatever it is that you want to do, and go and hang out and have drinks, and so on and so forth. So I've often told women, a lot of my friends, that when you get married, you're going to lose a lot of friends when you get married, because your single friends won't even understand. Like, what you mean you can't go out? What you mean you don't want to go on this trip with us? Well, I'm married now. I can't. I have a husband. I have a responsibility to someone else.
Husband.
Like, I can't just up and go to Bahamas because y'all want me to. I can't just up and go to Atlanta for the weekend. I have a husband. I got to make sure it's okay with him, or and especially in the beginning of a marriage. I don't want to go hang out with him. I want to hang out with my husband.
Oh, Henry Williams said everyone knows what
to do what she desires to do on a girl's trip. What? Everyone knows that
Somebody
the married
telling
woman,
the truth.
Everyone knows that the married woman is using the single women to cloak for her, to appear forced to do what she desires to do on a girl's trip.
So she wanted to do it anyway. So the excuse she gets is her single friends influenced me.
No. Not gonna work.
Nice
try, Big Hand.
No, but with the ideology that you all are using, see, the married woman wouldn't go in the first place. And the only reason why she would go is so she could go get done and have an excuse.
Well, see, I got what you're saying now. Okay, so Henry, are you telling on Brenda?
I don't know.
Sheila said, why would a wife want to go on a trip with single ladies? I feel she should say no and plan to only go on trip with husband.
Let me answer your question, Sheila. You say, why would a wife want to go on a trip with single ladies? Let me give you an educated answer. Because she knows that she's using the single women to cloak for her to appear for her to appear forced to do what she desired to do anyway.
But that doesn't make any sense. If I can only speak for myself. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't need a single woman to cloak for me to do something. That's weird to me. Like, if you're going to do what you're going to do and you're married, in other words, if you're going to do dirt, you're going to do dirt. You don't need no single women to help you. You don't need a girl's trip to help cloak it. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
And my point to you is that, see, what we were talking about is, I just don't feel like, personally, I just don't feel like you need to go. See, that's the thing. Just don't go.
Just say no.
Just say no. It's not anything that I want to do. And I'm just saying, as a married woman, I agree with you. I'm very careful, about how I carry myself when I go out.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Okay. So me and these group of guys, we've been going to the HBCU Classic for the last 20 years. Me and these 10 guys, all of us in different places, but we all meet up to go to see Southern University play Tennessee State in this classic, Bayou Classic. So then, but when we all started 20 years ago, all of us were single.
All right.
Now, 20 years later, 17 or 5 of us are married now. So now you're saying the 20 of us should not be able to go to the Bayou Classic because a few of us are married now?
Let me answer that. If you were doing the same thing that you did 20 years ago, you're still doing it now, you have a problem, a bigger problem.
Going to a football game. See, the Bayou Classic.
Henry, here you go. Here you go.
When you're married, you put certain things you did, you have to put that to the side. There's certain stuff I did when I was single that I just stopped doing when I got married.
And by the way, see, I already know that when you're running with your friends, you didn't have a flashback of what things used to be. So you still down there trying to step.
No, I'm serious. Right. I mean, I didn't pledge, but
you're still trying to do the same old things that you were doing at Tennessee State.
So you're saying
you go back in
that
time.
when the cues or the Zetas or whomever have their conclaves. And so then
we ain't talking about the conclave because it's going to be it's going to be the same. You're talking about a football game with.
No, I'm giving another example. I'm saying so then all of these guys accused. And every year they have this annual meeting. Oh, so you're saying if you're in the choir,
that's a brotherhood. That's a lifelong commitment.
We're talking about going to like a football game at an HBC. You look at it now. You know what, Johnny? Now you know what get me about him, Emily. He trying to pretend like he don't know what go on at homecoming at HBCU.
Football game, bands.
Okay,
Battle of the bands.
Okay, you know what? Now you know I'm not stupid.
Sheila said it's time to change the rules and take the wives.
You know.
Take the wives where?
To the football game that you were just talking about.
That's right. Take the wives.
Well, why didn't you suggest that the married women take their husband on the single ladies trip, Sheila?
Because she did. She said, "Don't go. Just take your husband." She said that.
Where is that? Let me see.
She said, "I feel she should say no and plan to only go on a trip with her husband."
No. She said plan to only go on a trip with her husband. She didn't say bring the husband on the single girls trip.
Why would she do that?
And
it's a single girls trip.
She just got through saying take the wives to the football game.
By the way, and what Henry just said, women can't do what men do and still be ladies. You know,
what the guys do is still be.
And by the way, even though I don't like that, and this is something I can't believe I'm saying it. Even though I do not like it,
turn your tape recorder on.
It is true.
Oh, what Henry is saying is 100% true. Girls can't do what guys do.
What men do.
And still be a lady, period. I agree with that one. You know what? Henry, you hit it dead on the nail. I actually told my son's girlfriend that.
Can I ask y'all, what can guys do that women can't do and still be a lady?
Sleep around.
So you're saying guys can do that?
Yeah. All the time. They've been doing that since the dawn of time.
And they will still be men.
Yeah.
But if a woman do it, then she's
they'll still be gentlemen.
No, she'll be labeled. But
I'm saying you say the man will still be considered a gentleman.
No, he'll still be considered a man.
In other words,
you still be considered a female.
Let's not play that game. We all know that a man can sleep around with multiple women, and it's generally accepted. If a woman sleeps around with multiple men and people find out,
they end up on the Maury show.
Labeled, right?
And
they end up on the Maury show.
And you know he's bringing it out because it's true. It's double. No, that's right. It's double standards now.
But that's one of those double standards that just is what it is. I don't think that will ever change. Men will always get a pass, and I'm not saying it's okay, but it will always be generally accepted. Once you meet a guy and he says, I've had 15 partners, let's just say, and the woman says, oh, okay. But if a woman tells a man, yeah, I've had 15 partners, he's like, oh,
that's nasty.
You dance too much.
And by the way, and that's nasty. And we're bringing it out because
you dance too much.
It is a double standard, but it's a realistic standard. Okay. It is what it is. And that's just honest. And that's why I'm saying, married women need to be careful. The other part of that is you got to be careful when you're running with single women because you don't know if they behind your man.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please.
Oh, that happens more often than not. You know that,
that's
Johnny.
Right. Oh, don't play
your
like
single girlfriends, or they'll spit all kind of venom in your ear. Girl, he ain't doing what he's supposed to do. He ain't nothing. And then you turn around and she wants your man.
Those would be the same ones, and you heard me say it. Girl, I'd get a divorce if I was you. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't put up with all of that. Come on and go with me, girl. Let's go hang out because you know what he doing. Yuckity yuk yuk yuk. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you file those papers, they'll be the first one. Hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Come on over.
I just wanted you to know that I didn't side with Brenda. I think Brenda shouldn't have did you that way. And yeah.
Yeah, Brenda shouldn't have had you to buy that stove that talk and didn't cook.
You see,
but because I'm gonna cook you some collard greens and I'm gonna bring them on over there to the house.
And my stove don't talk, but I do.
And I talk soft too.
I think that the same thing you're saying about the single woman applies to the married one as well. I think the same thing you're saying about the single guy applies to the married guy as well.
I know that's what
if
you
a-
think.
That's what you think, but
I've just seen it in action.
I've not seen men, and and I grew up with boys. Let me just say, and with men, I grew up with a family of like 4 boys and 1 girl. Okay, there's more men in my family than it is women. I've not known men to go into the man. I'd leave her. I've not known it, but now women will do it in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
They would do it at the ever dying. Leave you, girl, I leave him. And call in.
But men and women are just different at their base.
We're fundamentally different. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I saw this little video the other night where this lady was fussing at her boyfriend because she wanted him to pay for the dinner, her birthday dinner, right?
I saw that with
the 18
and
girl.
got 18 of her friends
Yeah,
there.
I think that was a reenactment. I saw the original. It actually happened for real, and it was a girl that went out on a date with a guy, and she brought 12 of her friends.
And think he's supposed to pay for it.
Yeah, and thought that he was supposed to pay the bill.
And he was less of a man because he didn't.
Yeah, he left
in her eye.
He actually left them at the table. He told him he was going to the restroom, and he left her and her friends there at the table.
And by the way, her single friends that put her up to that. Oh, we've got a phone caller. Caller.
One woman had 15 men.
You want to meet her?
Had 15 men.
What?
You had a woman had 15 men?
Yes, happens a lot.
You ain't got a number, though. You
must have never seen the Maury show.
Get me her number. Brenda, give me her number before Sheila get off. 15 men. I'm gonna get me a prescription right now.
Thank you, Liam, for calling. Jesus.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your call.
Give me a number before Sheila get off. Brenda, Sheila get off at 7. Give me a number.
I'm gonna get it for you because
Sheila get off at 7. I'm gonna get me a prescription.
Yeah, Jesus know I needed you to call today, man. Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Man, let me tell you something. Now that is one brother who deserves a good laugh.
You know what though? And he probably in the car on his way to do something and got. But we try to get something that we can get a good laugh on.
Just know, listeners, I'm gonna always play the devil's advocate.
You know what, Johnny? But the thing about it is, to me, I'm like either my friend is naive or just really don't. I don't get it sometimes because I'm like, Johnny, surely you're not that naive.
Again,
because you're like a career single.
I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong. I mean, and the person who's been married, and the person who's been married and divorced 3 times calls me a career single.
By the way,
so
what did you say?
You heard what I said?
Did he just throw shade at me?
Yeah, it's a whole palm tree over there.
Wait a minute. You trying to say I've only been married twice.
Don't matter. All I'm saying
it do matter.
It do matter. But you know what though?
Also, 3 is the magic number.
For some people, 5 is so stubby.
I'm just saying.
Don't be trying to put my business out in the street.
I'm just saying.
Here you see your boy over there.
I'm just saying.
He trying to
Brenda, you kind of do that on your own.
Yeah, I kind
of telling it on.
I just wanted them to know I do know how to shoot back. But
okay.
But listen. Here again.
Hey, how you doing?
Let's see. Done. Now look. Here's the deal. Again, I do not see why these guys who've been going to a football game would have to be affected by this type of ideology.
You know what?
But
you know what though? I don't know why you're trying to pretend that these guys are going on these guys trip and these girls going on these girl trips, these married folk going to hang around. Why, as a single person, do you want to? I mean, as a married person, why you want to hang around somebody single? Y'all got 2 different. It's a whole different train of thought. Okay.
Now, and there's a lot that goes to that. Like if you get divorced, and I've been knowing you, we've been friends for 20 years. I'm not gonna stop hanging out with you because you got divorced and I'm still married. I think there's a lot in play there. But if you guys are just and if it depends on the maturity level of the single woman. Like, if she's still wanting to go out and turn up and get drunk, well, I gotta hold your hair every week. It's like, girl, I got a husband and a kid at home. Like, I got to go. I can't do this with you every weekend. 20 years ago or 5 years ago when we were both single, that was okay then, but I can't do that with you now.
There you go. Women can fool you and have someone paying her. There you go.
Women can fool you and have someone paying her bills.
Yeah, they do.
What do you mean by that?
He mean, you know how women to be slick and then have folk, have this one paying the light bill, this one paying the phone bill. See, I'm going to say that, we as women can be very crafty. Mm-hmm. And we'll make up an excuse. We'll make it an excuse like we'll use kindness as a mean to control people and have people doing stuff for us. So I agree with it.
That's why I always say, if that had been me in the Garden of Eden, things would have turned out different. Because that's where it all started.
It would have been a whole Sodom and Gomorrah.
That's where it all started with Eve.
Hey, you know
the same woman you just described is Eve.
Oh, you know what? See,
she said women are cunning and baffling and deceitful.
We are, but you know what?
That was Eve. She set the example. Let me ask you something.
Well, then why didn't Adam listen to God?
That's why I said it should have been Johnny. It should have been Johnny HOLINGSHED out there in that garden.
But then maybe you'd have listened to God. But folk need to quit.
He wouldn't have listened to God.
Yes, I would.
Folk need to quit throwing Eve on the bus. Because every time I look around, it's Eve. Well, she did her dirt now.
Well, y'all quit throwing single men under the dirt.
She did her dirt. But let me just tell you something.
Because Jesus was single.
And Jesus didn't get in no trouble either.
Jesus was a single man.
And by the way, and he knew how to control himself. But let me just go back, and he was obedient.
So do I.
Now, I'm not the biggest Bible thumper in the world, but I'm going to say this. He understood and listened to God, which Adam, God spoke directly to him. I don't know what it takes, God speaking to you and said, look at here, I need you, gave him specific instructions.
And he still didn't listen to God.
And he still didn't listen to God.
So we're showing you the power of the female and her way to be cunning, deceitful,
or the ignorance of a man.
I agree with you on both ends.
There you go. Because
can I agree with everything says there?
But let me just tell you this, because Eve, and she didn't listen. God didn't talk to Eve. God talked to Adam, and he was supposed to lead. So had he did what a man was supposed to do, because a woman want a man who gonna lead. Had he done what a man was supposed to do, he wouldn't have been in that position.
And I agree with you 100%.
I just thought I'd let you know I know a little Bible.
Oh, yeah, I've agreed with you about that point from the whole time.
So...
That's why it should have been HOLINGSHED out there.
HOLINGSHED, all you had to do was give HOLINGSHED a pot of greens.
Can you imagine? This world would be Sodom and Gomorrah.
All they had to do was to give HOLINGSHED a pot of greens and fry him a little piece of cornbread, and that would have been it.
Collards, not turnips.
Right. Hold on.
Red flag.
CL Dunn. Listen, what's going on with you? Because you sound like this is hitting home for you. You said red flag. If she is not calling her man at night, she is with someone else. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I just don't want to talk to you, because I've talked to you 2 or 3 times today.
She's slick. She out there, and you know what?
I don't agree with. Just because I don't call you at night doesn't mean that I'm with somebody else.
Emily,
come on now.
Emily,
come on now.
You know what, CL, you need to do a drive-by.
No, CL, let me ask you something. CL.
You don't get somebody shot, brother.
Oh, come on. You need to do a drive-by, and you need to look and see what's
going
on.
CL, call in. Can you call us? The call-in number is 478-250-1444. Again, 478-250-1444.
And by the way, cut off, and you heard me say cut off her pocketbook. Let me tell you something. When somebody don't want you, which is how she's acting, cut her loose. She is blocking you from someone wonderful who should be in your life.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask you, CL. CL, do you know where the remote is? Because what I need you to do right now is get the remote and switch it off the Lifetime channel. Because I know that's what you're over there looking at. You need to quit looking at that Lifetime channel, man.
No, he said, I have female friends I know. And you're right. The things that he is absolutely correct. But it's some men out there. The only thing they want is a woman they can pay her cell phone bill for, which I think is real interesting when you got a man that's just, yeah, they do. it's some men out there think they can buy women, but that wasn't the subject today. The subject is about, and we'll talk about that another time, but the subject is about married women going out with single women. I love my sister. My sisters, I am a part of the sisterhood. I really am.
So does this mean that nobody can be trusted?
No.
Let me just tell you something.
You mean a husband should never feel like he can trust his wife to go somewhere?
I told you, a hit dog will holler every time.
He said he's been the other man.
Dunn
Man,
said, I have been the other man.
Lifetime.
No. He has been the other man, and he know the kind of stuff he do.
Stop watching Lifetime.
Let me ask you this.
Put it on Sports Channel. Put it on Sports Center.
CL, which bill did you pay? The phone bill or the light bill? I'm just saying. Curious minds want to know.
He's wanted.
You know what I mean? Was it the light bill or the phone bill that you paid as the other man? Because, and then too, we have to talk about you in commitment issues one day.
He might have been the Chanel man.
Henry's a Chanel man.
He might have been getting them purses and things,
The Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. But you know what though? It's real interesting. When you start talking about these, okay, she had no jobs and the bills, what if she has no job and the bills are being paid? Yeah, absolutely. If she don't have a job and her bills are being paid, let me ask you.
Let me tell you something. Let me say this.
She gonna say the Lord is making a way.
You petty. I have a really good friend, client of mine that's been coming to me I've been in making 16, 17 years. She's been coming to me that long. And as long as I've known her, she has never had a job, but she stay in my chair. She got 3 children, 3 grown daughters. A grown son, 2 grown daughters. She got grandkids. She has never had a job as long as I've known her, and she's never had a boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
And she's 54.
And you'll never ask her where you get that money from, girl.
As long as she pay me.
And you know what? And Henry E. Williams to my CEO about her straight talk.
CL, did you buy a straight out phone? A straight talk? Look, straight talk be on point now. That straight talk
$45.
Everybody got to have a burner.
But Mr. Williams, you in trouble.
How many more minutes we got? Because this is going nowhere fast.
Wait a minute. Nowhere fast.
I just think it ought to be more trust in relationships. And if there's more trust in relationships, then the fellas can go to the Bayou Classic, go watch the football game, eat a couple of doggone Philly cheese sandwiches, and say, "What's up, man? Be safe going home," and go back home to their wives.
Now CL say he date women with money. And you know what? This is a great question.
Do you take their money?
Well, what does money mean? When people say somebody got money.
He just means so he don't have to pay the bill every time. Like if they go eat, then sometime they can say, "I got the bill." That's all he means. Oh. He don't mean she's a millionaire. He just means he ain't got to pay every time they go eat or every time they go to the movie. I think that's what he means.
Women cheat because me cheat, or women cheat because men cheat?
That's right. Women cheat.
Now this is a chicken before the egg kind of statement.
But you know what, though? Equality, because all of them cheat. But see, that's why I brought up the thing about the women, married women going on these trips. A lot of times, they're going to trips and they do all of that and they hang out with their girlfriends. But time a man do it, then it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I brought it up. You were just like, I'm like, they don't want their men going out, but they'll do it. And again, and I say it and I mean it. Single women sometimes do not mean married women any good.
What do you mean I'm wrong about CL Dunn?
Well, all I can say is at this point, like, once you've been with your mate for so long, like if he wanted to go on a weekend trip with his boys, I'd be like, all right, bye.
Me too.
Like, gone. Because it's like, you be needing that break.
But and
like, go and have fun, enjoy yourself. But if I want to go on a trip with my girls, I'm gonna be asked 50 million questions.
Come on now,
50 million questions.
Raymond, chill out, man.
Where on the other hand, if he go, I'm gonna ask the typical, well, where y'all going? How long y'all gonna be? What hotel you gonna stay at? All right, cool.
But you know why? Because men are more trustworthy.
Oh, what? How you fix your mouth to say that?
You know, Brenda, stop falling for it. Like,
okay, most women are not going to stay with broke men.
no,
I agree.
Absolutely not. A woman is not going, and it depends on your definition of broke. But no, a woman ain't gonna stay with no broke man.
What I found is that women, like, let's say for instance, a woman has money, been made, or got a good bank account, and if she meets a guy that does not have, quote unquote, her equal money, and he could be broke, as he's mentioning, but if he's trying to ascend and trying to be something and got some ideas, then that woman can help lift him up and build him up.
Absolutely.
So
that's great.
I don't think women don't stay with broke men. I think they don't stay with men who don't have any aspiration and ambition. But them being broke is not the reason why they don't stay with them.
There you go. If you just gonna later and not do nothing,
right?
If you not gonna try to help yourself, if you ain't gonna
even if you fail, as long as you act like you're trying to get something accomplished, I think women will stick with that brother till the end.
I'm telling you, women will stick by a man when he ain't got a single dime.
I believe that.
She will walk away if she sees that her effort and her energy is in vain. She will walk away because it's like, nah, I ain't gonna. You broke now. I can handle you being broke, but if you just not gonna do nothing and you not gonna try to help yourself, actively try to help yourself on a frequent basis, she gonna walk away because like, I can do bad by myself.
And you know what? Now something that someone said about the girls' trips. You know, when the girl go on their trip, they always doing videos, pictures and things. What about the guy?
Men smart. Men know better. I'm not capturing this on camera.
And it's the reason why they ain't taking no pictures. No, they don't take no pictures and stuff like that.
Men got enough sense not to do that.
No, they don't do it.
But women, we always try. I will say this: we always trying to stunt. We always want. Look at me. I'm on the beach. Look at my drink. Look at my bikini.
Okay,
look at me.
See, we have different
Men
advantages.
don't do that.
Like for instance, you all just made the point about but the women gonna be all on the video doing this and that, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's a deflection.
It is not. It's to make him jealous. It's to make him jealous. You know, it's
nobody getting jealous about that. Yes. What we think is happening is you showing us what you want us to see. And so we think what you really wanted to do, you're doing it off camera. That's just like I keep telling y'all, you can run around and catch dogs doing stuff all the time. You never see two cats, but it sure is a lot of kittens around here.
Yep, Henry said, we ain't bragging like ladies do.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Hey, can I mention something? Y'all were talking about New Orleans at the beginning of the show and Jimmy down there. I'll be in New Orleans this weekend at the Carver Theater. We're going to be doing Justice on Trial in New Orleans at the Carver Theater, 7 p.m. And so come on out. If you know somebody in New Orleans, tell them I'm coming to New Orleans this weekend, 24th, doing the show at the Carver Theater. Anybody listening, send your folks to come see me. Tell them to holler at your boy.
Oh, wait a minute. Anthony said, how did Eve break a rule that she was never given? The Lord told the man not to eat. He never told Eve not to eat. He only told Adam that men should not eat. Even when the serpent came to her, she said, yes, I was told you can't eat of this tree.
Come on now. Thank you, Anthony. That's exactly my point.
That's a good point.
That's exactly my point.
He is whipped.
No, he's not. He's a good guy. Anthony, I love you.
I've been trying to keep from saying it, but
no, he's not. He is absolutely correct.
His wife probably wrote that.
No, she didn't. Anthony, you need to get him.
But that's what
every show, he just whipped.
No, that's what I was saying about.
He agree with everything y'all say.
No. But that's biblical, Johnny. You read the Bible.
What are you talking about?
You read the Bible.
That's why I said if HOLINGSHED had been in the Garden of Eden,
you know what?
It's the reason. Well, why wasn't HOLINGSHED up there? Why didn't God blow the breath of life? He knew better.
He knew better. He knew HOLINGSHED was a heathen. So with that being said,
and he knew that HOLINGSHED.
He said just like those falcons.
Okay, good one, Anthony. Good one, Anthony.
With that being said, it is our perfect time to end. It's a perfect segue. We love you guys. We will talk to you guys and see you next Monday.
Anthony,
we love you.
Do you think the fellas ought to be able to go to a football game every year together. Chime in on it. What's your answer, Anthony? Come on, man.
He'll respond. He can
Come on,
respond
Anthony.
in the chat.
Come on, Anthony. Come on, Anthony. Talk to me quick. Should the fellas be able to go to the Bayou Classic? Should they?
No.
Come on, Anthony. Talk to me.
Henry better
Talk
not
to
go.
me.
Henry better not go.
Come on, Anthony.
Henry
Come on.
Williams better not be going
Hey,
nowhere.
now, when Henry goes, next Monday, she'll on another range. You know what I'm
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of